Hey there, Falcons fans! There was a bit of a scare on Wednesday when our tight end Kyle Pitts showed up as a limited participant in practice due to a hamstring injury. I know, hamstrings can be tricky, but wait, don't panic just yet. Before you continue, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of the latest Atlanta Falcons updates. Let's get to it. Pitts himself took to social media later that night to calm us down. He hopped on X, formerly Twitter, to let everyone know he's feeling good and ready for Sunday's opener against the Pittsburgh Steelers. His exact words? Take a deep breath, Falcons fans. That's all we needed to hear. After dealing with a season-ending injury in 2022 and some struggles last year, Pitts is ready to bounce back. And with Kirk Cousins as our new quarterback, there's plenty of optimism that Pitts will shine brighter than ever this season. You know the guy has talent. In his rookie season, he was only the second tight end in NFL history to surpass 1,000 yards. But we haven't seen that same spark in the last 2 years. Injuries, quarterback issues, and bad luck have gotten in the way. But now, Pitts is poised for a big comeback, and it doesn't look like that hamstring is going to slow him down. We'll see him in action on Sunday, and I can't wait to see how the connection with Cousins plays out. What do you think, Falcons fans? Are you excited to see Pitts back on the field? Let me know in the comments below. Breaking news, the Pittsburgh Steelers just released their injury report, and it could have a significant impact on Sunday's game against the Atlanta Falcons. The biggest shocker? Steelers starting quarterback Russell Wilson is now listed as a limited participant in practice due to a calf strain. Wilson had been a full participant earlier in the week, but it appears his calf injury, which dates back to the Steelers' conditioning tests, continues to be a nagging issue. Now, head coach Mike Tomlin has assured the media that it's not something they're too concerned about long-term. But with Wilson missing some key moments during training camp and even sitting out the preseason opener against the Houston Texans, this raises some red flags for Pittsburgh. Will Wilson be at full strength on Sunday? Only time will tell, but it's certainly something for the Falcons' defense to keep an eye on. And that's not all, Falcons fans. The Steelers' injury list doesn't end with Wilson. Second-year tight end Darnell Washington is out with a knee issue. Logan Lee also sat out practice due to a calf injury that has been bothering him since Pittsburgh's preseason finale, among other things that could have a significant impact. So, Falcons Nation, what do you think? Will the Steelers' injury issues give our Falcons the edge in Week 1? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and let's get this conversation started. I can't wait to see how our Falcons take advantage of these potential holes in the Steelers' lineup. Stay tuned! And while we're on the subject of our rival, there's one person who's stealing the show, the return of Arthur Smith. But not in the way you'd expect. After being fired by the Falcons in January, Arthur Smith will be stepping into Mercedes-Benz Stadium this Sunday, but this time on the other side of the field as the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's right, the man who once coached our team will now be leading the Steelers' offense. It's a turnaround no one saw coming, and Falcons fans are already excited to see what happens. Now, let's be honest, I can imagine there will be a portion of fans who will be loath to take him on and perhaps give him a hard time, and another portion who see that there's no love lost between Arthur Smith and Atlanta and will welcome him. Falcons fans were more than ready to see him go after 3 disappointing seasons in which we seemed to be stuck in a rut, never bad enough to get a draft pick, but never good enough to give us any real hope. Under Smith's watch, the Falcons conquered mediocrity, and the fans, along with the team, were ready to move on. But here we are, Week 1, and Arthur Smith is back on our turf, looking to prove himself with the Steelers. And while it may not be the biggest headline of the weekend, this meeting is certainly intriguing for anyone who follows the Falcons. Smith has had his moments, but one thing we'll never forget is his odd coaching decisions. Take, for example, his baffling use of Robinson, our star running back. 9 times last season, Robinson had 12 or fewer carries. In what universe does your number 8 overall pick, one of the most electric backs in the league, get that little action? Falcons fans have been left scratching their heads week after week, wondering why Smith didn't lean into the talent he had right in front of him. Then there was that infamous play in Week 9 against the Vikings. The Falcons were right on the 2-yard line, ready to score. So what does Smith do? He hands the ball off to Jonnu Smith, a tight end who gets blocked. Instead of running Robinson or another proven weapon, he went with a tight end run, and we ended up settling for a field goal. The Falcons lost the game 31-28, and the frustration among the fans boiled over. It's these kinds of decisions that have defined the Arthur Smith era. In his 3 years here, we saw flashes of potential, but a lack of direction and odd decisions have left us stuck in limbo. And that brings us to Sunday, where Smith now has a chance to prove that his coaching skills belong on the Steelers' sideline, not in the shadows of Atlanta's past. Now let's talk about the Steelers' current offensive situation, because it's not pretty. Arthur Smith now finds himself in charge of an offense featuring Russell Wilson, the quarterback the Denver Broncos were willing to take an $85 million salary cap hit just to get rid of. That's right, the Steelers got Wilson, who is still trying to rediscover his mojo, but the Broncos paid a fortune to let him go. And if Wilson falters, the Steelers could turn to Justin Fields, a dynamic athlete but a quarterback who has struggled with accuracy. Fields is quick and can make plays with his legs, but his inconsistency as a passer could cause headaches for any offensive coordinator, especially one trying to assemble a playoff-caliber offense. Then there's the Steelers' offensive line, a young, talented unit that lacks chemistry and is still working to gel. They've already lost their best player to injury, and it's clear they'll need more time to gel. If the Falcons' defense brings the heat, either Wilson or Fields could have a long day under pressure. That said, the Steelers have one player we need to keep an eye on, George Pickens. This guy is a beast. And besides Pickens, the Steelers' receiving core is weak. Van Jefferson, who spent a brief stint with the Falcons, is their number 2 option. While he's a solid player, he's not exactly striking fear into the hearts of defenders. Then you have Calvin Austin III, who has speed but struggles against physical defenders. Rookie Roman Wilson and veteran Scotty Miller round out the group. Let's be real, this is one of the weakest wide receiver groups in the league, and that bodes well for the Falcons' secondary. When Arthur Smith left, both the Falcons and Smith moved on to better places. Our Falcons are a much improved team under new leadership, and Smith has a new challenge in Pittsburgh. But make no mistake, this Sunday is about putting the final nail in the coffin of the Arthur Smith era. The Falcons are in a much better place now, and the Steelers, for all their offensive struggles, may have bitten off more than they could chew by bringing Smith into the fold. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Will Arthur Smith's return to Atlanta be a triumphant one, or are the Steelers headed for a buzzsaw on Sunday? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And before you go, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on all the Falcons news and analysis you need. This is going to be an exciting season, and it all starts this Sunday. Go Falcons!